Get ready to get punished and pay the price if you're someone that works and has to commute to work in a vehicle. You are likely going to be taxed if what the lawmakers are discussing gets the green light. Hey everybody, JJ here. You're watching Bolt Boom Bear Bust. It's Saturday, March 27th, 2021. Also, here we go. We told you that this was going to happen. The powers that be, the lawmakers, they are going to look for more and more ways to get money from the American people, and it's mostly going to come from the working class. And we're going to get into this mileage tax here in a minute, but first, here's the big picture. They can conjure up trillions of dollars out of thin air for different projects, including a multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure project that's being discussed right now. But because most people have no clue that they can do that the money's created out of thin air, they're just going to tax people into oblivion. So this is going to further discourage people from working with the vehicle tax, and it's going to be per mile. Now, before we talk about that, what do you think about this? Would this disincentivize people to work even more than is already happening with all the stimulus checks and the unemployment benefits and now the enhanced unemployment benefits? Imagine yourself being stuck in traffic, commuting back and forth every day to work, knowing that a lot of people, millions of people, are sitting at home getting stimulus checks. And who knows, maybe by the time that this tax gets implemented on the vehicle mileage, people will be getting UBI, monthly stimulus checks, more handouts and payouts from the money printers, but you're stuck in traffic and paying by the mile for the privilege of being stuck in traffic and going back and forth to work. Recent article here out of the Post: the White House might tax motorists by the mile to fund $3 to $4 trillion infrastructure plan. Right, so as soon as you see something that says we need money or we need taxes to fund something, you know it's a scam. Why? Because they can print trillions of dollars out of thin air. All right, so why punish people that need to use their vehicles to drive to work and back? All right, now some people make the argument that we need to tax people on miles driven because a lot of people are just taking vacations and are out joyriding. A lot of people waste gas unnecessarily for a lot of things. A lot of people taking vacations and just cruising back and forth for no reason, except maybe to look cool. But you're also going to be punishing people that have to depend on their vehicles to get back and forth to work. And this is going to especially punish people who chose to move out of the city. Maybe they wanted some acreage, maybe they wanted to start growing some food and get out of the city for whatever reason, get away from the crime. And a lot of these people have to commute into the city for jobs, and they are going to be the ones punished the most. The transportation secretary said the following, quote, "I think this shows a lot of promise. If we believe in that so-called user pays principle, the idea that part of how we pay for roads is you pay based on how much you drive," unquote. And it continues, quote, "The gas tax used to be the obvious way to do it. It's not anymore. So a so-called vehicle miles traveled tax or mileage tax, whatever you want to call it, would be the way to do it," unquote. The levy would tax drivers on the number of miles they travel as opposed to the amount of gasoline that they consume, which is no longer a reliable stream of income with so many electric cars on the road. Right? So you bought an electric car to save on gas, well, now you're just going to be taxed on the mile that you drive. So there goes your savings, right? And also, what other costs are going to come along with tracking everyone's mileage? And how much more invasion of privacy are people going to have to be susceptible to for this type of tracking and a mileage calculation program? And guess what? The more they spend on these types of projects is going to make them tax you even more. They're going to say, oh, look at all this extra debt and spending. Now we have to tax you even more. All right, so you're going to give up a bigger portion of your paycheck. They're going to tax you for the mileage. This is the plan. This is where it's all headed. Now, when it comes to these types of projects, no one can guarantee if or when they're going to be implemented, but we do know this is being discussed, and this is their quote-unquote solution to the problem of funding that needs to be funding for this infrastructure project, the roads, right? It's always the people pay, yet a certain portion of the population will always get handouts. And I'm asking the question, is this going to further incentivize people not to work? All right. And what about the guy right here who bought a motorcycle to save on gas? And let's be honest, so he can cut between cars and get places more quickly. They're also going to be charged by the mile. Right. So what are they going to do? Charge motorcycle drivers less per mile? It's a pretty hefty thing to try to keep track of everyone's mileage. And does anyone think it's going to stop at the vehicle mileage tax if they do pass that? What's going to be next? I mean, you're going to see so many new rules being implemented. It's going to be the nanny state times a million. All right, that is the plan. That is the direction that we're headed. So pretty scary times. But I'd like to hear what you think of it. Is this the way to fund it, or should there not be any mileage tax? Because again, they can print trillions of dollars out of thin air. Why punish people that just want to drive, especially people that just have to drive to get to work and back? All right, let's transition here a little bit. Let's talk about the latest quote unquote great news about the economy. So weekly jobless claims tumble to lowest level in more than a year. All right, now here's the thing. It's going to get to a point where there's not many jobs left to lose. After bleeding between 800 and a million jobs a week now for close to a year, there gets a point where there's not many jobs left to lose. Now, if you look at the labor force participation rate, which gives you a real indicator of what's actually happening as far as a recovery, let's take an updated look here. This was just updated recently. Right, and we like to look here at the 25 to 54-year-old age range because that takes out a lot of people who may have been retired and college students, under the age 25. And what do we see? This is a one-year chart. We actually see now that we are actually higher just in the past few months, but we're actually lower than we were back in October. So the recovery is actually not really a recovery when you look at the real raw data, the labor force participation rate. Right? Remember, the more people that drop out of the labor force that have been on unemployment so long that they no longer qualify, once they fall off that category of being on unemployment, they're no longer considered unemployed. It's kind of a sick way to think about calculating the unemployment number. When people no longer qualify for benefits, they're no longer counted as unemployed, so they make the unemployment number look better, the fake number, they make it look better. Right? People that run out of benefits make the unemployment number look better. Think about that. Think how backwards that the way of calculating this is. Right? So with this being the case, the leaders that want to point to a recovering economy are happy to see people lose their unemployment benefits because now they're no longer counted as unemployed once they hit the limit of drawing unemployment. Right? So technically, if they lowered the unemployment benefit limit to 3 months and have people fall off the unemployment benefit sooner, that would even be a faster way to make the unemployment number look better and make the phony economic recovery look like it's actually recovering. So it's pretty sick, but that's the way that it is calculated. I'm telling you, I mean, a lot of things about this economy are pretty sick, pretty sad. So bulls and bears, get ready because this is going to get very, very difficult for the working class. If you're lucky enough to still have a job, now you're going to be taxed. And we want to end this report today with the vehicle prices. Now, we put this report out yesterday. The automakers, a lot of them on idle because of the shortage of chips. And we talked about how that may make vehicle prices rise even faster than they've been. Well, here's a chart that I just found today, and I wish I would have had it for that report, but this just came out, and look at the surge here just in the past year. Look at this parabolic price movement. All right, so let's go back here. This is financial crisis drop right here. Okay, that's to be expected. Then it rebounded, then it leveled off, and it started rebounding some more. Here, the big drop, we saw the beginning of the shutdown recession with the illness back in March 2020, about a year ago now. And look at this surge here just in the past few months. And this is updated. This is as of March, this month. And just a couple days ago, yesterday, we talked about how vehicle prices are rising quickly and are likely to rise even quicker with all the things happening now with the shortages. Pretty scary times, people. Hope you're keeping above water out there, doing well. Thank you for supporting this channel. Please make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell to get the latest updates on the news for the economy and the financial system. And we'll talk to you very soon. We'll try to be back with another update tomorrow, but definitely we'll see you Monday. Thanks everybody again for all your time and for your interaction with this channel. Stay well, everybody. Stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now. Peace.